Hello students, good morning. Students, this is the lecture number 17 and the topic is blood vessels. That is the second topic of the vascular system, blood vessels. As the name clear that it is associated with the blood. In what function? Just going to define the definition. Blood vessels are tube-like structures. Yes, student, these are the just pipeline structures. Our network of pipelines, our network of tubes around the body helps in transport of blood which contain food, other kind of nutrients which are present in food, nitrogenous waste as well as students helps in the gaseous exchange process. It means the transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide. On the basis of function and their distribution in the body, the blood vessels are of three types. The whole right half of our body mainly contains venous blood which flow inside the tube called veins, whereas the left half of our body contains arterial blood. It means that contains arteries as a vessels, and in between both arteries in the left half of the body and veins in the right half of the body, the intermediate connection between right and left half is accompanied by the third vessels, that is capillaries. Here student, this is the diagram of an artery. This is the outermost covering of the tube, that is mainly consists of squamous. What type? Squamous epithelial cells, and it is consist of three membranes. How much membrane? Three membranes. The innermost membrane is called tunica interna. What? Tunica interna. The middle is called tunica media, and the outermost surface or membrane is called tunica externa. Thus, students, all these three membranes combine to constitute a thickest wall, tube-like structure that can accompany great pressure of the blood inside the human body. So, let's going to define the arteries. Arteries are the vessels which are thick walled and deeply seated below the skin. It means they lie just below the hypodermis layer of the skin and above the connective, inside the connective tissue layer, just below the basement layer of epithelial tissue. Now students, the arteries are the kind of blood vessels which always carry oxygenated blood. What is oxygenated blood? It means oxygen containing blood, that is almost called pure blood. What? Pure blood. It always carries pure blood inside our body, which takes or receives from the heart and transport it to whole parts of the body. Heart pumps the oxygenated blood and the arteries receives them with the systemic arc and helps in transport to whole parts of the body, tissues, organs, and each and every cell of our body that contains rich amount of nutrients and oxygen gas. So, arteries always carry oxygenated blood from heart to other part of the body, other body parts. But pulmonary arteries, here you have to remember it. Either all the arteries carries oxygenated blood, but pulmonary artery, which artery? Pulmonary artery. The term pulmon is derived from the lungs, pleura. It means it is related with the lungs. So pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood from heart to lungs. From heart to lungs for oxygenation. For oxygenation. It is very clear to remember you all of you that the pulmonary artery, the blood which, the venomous blood which comes from the whole body to the right atrium and further get move into the left atrium of the heart. Through there, the pulmonary artery receives that blood and send it to the lungs for oxygenation. Here it is related, this artery make a bridge linkage between heart and lungs. That's why called pulmonary artery. Is that clear? And students, the pressure of the blood is high due to absence of valve. It means the arteries does not contain any valve in their tunica interna. That's why the pressure of the blood in arteries are high due to absence of valve. What? Due to absence of valve. That's why the thick wall of the arteries accompany the high pressure of the blood inside the body, and its pressure is of about 140 mmHg. How much? Of about 140 mmHg. This is the systolic pressure. Is that clear? Now students, veins. This is a diagram of the vein that representing a vein, and this is a just transversal section of the vein. What do you find here? In the tunica interna, there is presence of semilunar valve. What? Semilunar valve are present. These valves just opening and closing to control the pressure of the blood inside the veins. And here, with the help of diagram, it is representing a closed valve and an open valve. If the valve get closed, then no passage of the blood or the flow of blood in this direction get stopped. But when the valve is open, the flow of blood in this direction is continue. Thus, students going to know more about veins. Veins are the vessels comparatively thin walled. From where it is compared? It is compared with the arteries. In compared to the arteries, the veins are comparatively thin walled. What? Thin walled. And seated just below skin surface. Where? Just below the skin surface. Always carry deoxygenated blood from whole body to the heart. It always carries the deoxygenated, it means impure blood. What? Deoxygenated means impure blood. From whole body to the heart. But there is also an exception. What is that? Pulmonary vein. What? Pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein carry oxygenated blood. It means pure blood. Oxygenated blood means pure blood. All the veins carry deoxygenated blood, but pulmonary veins carries oxygenated blood. As here what you study in arteries, all the arteries always carries pure blood, but pulmonary artery carries impure blood or deoxygenated blood. But here, all the veins always carries impure blood or deoxygenated blood, but pulmonary vein always carries pure blood, it means oxygenated blood, from lungs to the heart. It is a connecting bridge, valve, or you can say that blood tube between lungs and heart. The oxygenated blood receives from the lungs and send it to the left atrium of the heart. Now students, the pressure of the blood in the veins is quite low, it is comparatively low, and it is of about 70 to 75 mmHg. Our normal person, in normal healthy person, it is about 70 mmHg. This is also called diastole. What? Diastole. Diastolic pressure. Thus, diastole and systole commonly ranges the normal blood pressure of a human, that is 70 to 140 mmHg. Is that clear? A normal healthy person's blood pressure is from 70 to 140 mmHg. It is measured by a device that is called sphygmanometer. What? Sphygmanometer. What is that? Sphygmanometer. This is the device through which the blood pressure ranges are measured, and a normal human body's blood pressure is 70 to 140 mmHg. Is that clear? Thus, students, the pressure of the blood is low due to presence of semilunar valve in the membrane. In the inner membrane, its inner membrane, as here we observe that semilunar valves are present. These valves are responsible for the low pressure inside the veins. Now, student, capillaries. Blood capillaries are thinnest wall. What? These are thinnest wall and act as intermediate part. Act as intermediate part between artery and veins. Between artery and Just as you can understand with the help of this figure, this is the artery and this is the vein. When the artery further branch, it forms a network of arterioles. It forms a network of arterioles. Likewise, this is a primary vein, and when it further branch, it forms venules. What? It forms venules. Thus, arteriole and venules both together forms the network of capillaries. What? Network of capillaries. The arterioles and venules collectively forms network of capillaries. That's why the capillaries are regarded as the intermediate part between the artery and veins. Mainly capillaries are found in the internal organs, are delicate organs of the whole body, and where artery and veins are absent, it helps in transport of food materials, other nutrients, as well as nitrogenous waste materials, and exchange of gases. That's why the capillaries are very important types of blood vessels. Thus, students, I hope you all of you understood about the blood vessels very well and their differentiations also. The more important thing in capillary is that capillaries transport both useful as well as nitrogenous waste material, oxygen and carbon dioxide both. Because the venules and arterioles collectively forms a network that is called capillary network or capillaries. Thus, students, this topic is completed, and I also send you the differences between arteries, veins and capillaries. What are the main differences? Because it is very important to point of view of your board examination. So, I will send the PDF of the differences separately. Thanks for joining today's